Hello and welcome to the Downsized. This is our weekly weigh-in. It's June 15th, 2025, and my name is Laraine Durham. I'm here with my husband of 22 years.
Christopher Durham.
And together we're the Downsized. We talk about all things GLP-1 weight loss related, health, fitness. We do interviews, we do news. So we hope that you will like and subscribe to our channel. This is our weekly segment where we tell you what's going on with our life and take a few questions.
Yeah.
From our viewers.
Exciting questions this week, too.
Are they? I haven't seen them yet.
I know. That's why it's always a surprise for Laraine.
That's why it's always exciting for me. Before we get started, just a reminder, we're not doctors. We're just a couple in North Carolina who lost over 150 pounds together on the GLP-1 medication, tirzepatide. So we hope that you will like and subscribe to our channel. And let's get into the weekly weigh-in.
Before we do that, what's coming up?
We have our Downsized Cruise presented by Mochi Health coming up June 23rd through the 27th. It's going to be on the Celebrity Reflection, and we're going from Fort Lauderdale, Florida to Bimini and Nassau in the Bahamas. It's a 4-night cruise, and we're just about, I think we have about
There might be one
50
room.
people.
There might be one room left on that ship. So if you really want to do it, book it right now. We'll see you next Saturday or Sunday.
Yeah, so you can go to our website, thedownsized.org, click on the cruise tab and find out all the information about that and link to our travel planners if you would like to call them and ask them if there are any rooms available left on the ship. We did have somebody book as late as about a week ago, but that you never know. So if you're still interested, I would say
move quickly.
Move quickly, indeed.
What can I do to get you in this car today?
Book it, Dano, as my dad used to always say. Happy Father's Day to Christopher and all the dads out there. It is Father's Day. We just came back from a lovely breakfast at Christopher's favorite. That's not your favorite?
No.
Well, it didn't have a line of waiting people, so we went to Bob Evans and had some breakfast foods. Yeah. So it was lovely.
Eggs, bacon, all the good stuff.
Yep.
Okay. Well, so how was your week this week?
So this is we just finished week 87 of our weight loss journey. We started on September 9th, 2023, and today is June 15th, 2025. I have been in maintenance now for approaching a year, and I have moved up to an 8 milligram dose. I had been on a 5 milligram dose, and then we were very busy in May. We had some travel, we had a conference. We forgot to take our shot before we went on our trip, and I kind of got off track a little bit, so I bumped up my dose a little bit. And so now this past week, I'm down 1.4 pounds. I'm 142.6, so that's down 50.4 pounds. My starting weight was 193 pounds. I'm 5'5", 56 years old, mom of 3.
So what is your center weight you're trying to, what's the point you're maintaining off of?
Well, I did a video that I posted yesterday about maintenance, and I kind of talked about that a little bit. So I'm thinking I'm targeting 140 with like 138 as a low and 145 as a high. So as long as I'm in that range, I think that's
you go 2 pounds down or 5 pounds up?
138 to 145. Yeah, that's just what I picked. I think if I saw the number 145 on the scale, I'd really want to, take a closer look at what I'm eating, what's happening in my life, and did I need to make some changes. And also with 138, like I don't really want to just continue to lose weight. I want to maintain where I am and try now to build some muscle, maintain my muscle.
Okay. So you moved up in dose this past week. How has that been for you?
Well, this is my second week of the 8 milligram dose. When we got back from Amsterdam, I took a 5 milligram dose for 2 weeks and nothing was happening. So I moved to 8 milligrams and still nothing happened. And then last week I did another 8 and got the scale moving in the right direction, got back to 50 pounds down. So that seemed to work.
That's a good thing.
How about you?
Oh, let's see. So Christopher Durham, 56 years old, 5'10" and a half. I've never shrunk up and down like Laraine has.
Well, I don't know that I shrunk up and down. I think maybe with some measuring discrepancies at my doctor's office.
So when we started in September of 2023, I guess, 2024?
I mean, 2023, we say it every time.
You know,
every time.
It's all fuzzy for me. I was 286.4 pounds. As of this morning, I am 184.2 pounds. So my center weight that I'm kind of rotating off of now is 185 pounds. And generally I'm looking at about a 3-pound range up or down. So, just kind of a 6-pound swing. Mm-hmm. So I'm just under that. So I'm 100 and, how many pounds down? 101.4 pounds.
You wrote it on the
I did,
paper.
and I can't read it.
101.4
pounds down today.
101.4.
And I'm on a 15 milligram dose and have stayed on that dose, really a 16.6. And have stayed on that dose, I don't even know, 30 weeks, 20 weeks, I don't know, a long time.
Maybe you should keep a spreadsheet.
I don't keep a spreadsheet.
Of your progress, such as this.
Yep, I don't keep straight. No point in starting now. So
I think it's always a good idea to track it, even if you're in maintenance, even if you're in the middle of your journey. Like I track what week I'm in, the date, what level shot I've taken, my weight, the difference, anything going on that week, like conference, Amsterdam, San Francisco, colonoscopy, etc. So it just helps to keep track for me of what's happening.
I don't do that. But yeah, I think if that works for you, that's awesome.
Yeah. A lot of people also use the app Shotzi. I always forget to enter my weight into that, but I keep this because we talk about it every week, so that's what I do.
So yeah, I had been up a couple of pounds from the travels, and now I'm basically back down to where I'm not down to I think my lowest weight, I was another couple of pounds lighter, but I'm not really targeting that. That just kind of 185 is kind of where I want to stick around. And so far the medication's working well. I don't plan on moving down at any point in the future. No real side effects. I'm fine.
Yeah. So we've talked to several doctors on our channel. You can go back and watch those episodes. And what the thinking is now versus when we started is if you hit your goal weight and you want to stay in maintenance, some doctors will tell you to stay on that same dose. So Christopher's staying on that top dose. When I hit my weight goal last year, my doctor recommended dropping down my doses. So I did. So I dropped down my doses and I continued to lose a little bit of weight. And I got down to 5 and pretty much was maintaining pretty well on 5 until I kind of lost focus in the month of May. But
so what's the thinking now? I didn't understand that.
Stay on the dose that you ended when you got to your goal.
Oh, I thought the thinking now was it's a personalized choice.
I think it is. I think before it was like, see if you can drop down your dose. Now we had not heard stay on the top dose until we talked to a doctor recently.
The last few doctors we've talked to.
Yeah. So, but I think you have to find what works for you. So if Christopher is good on the 15 milligram dose, he's chosen to stay on the 15 milligram dose. I dropped my dose down because I thought that's what I was supposed to do. So you can find what works for you. Work with your doctor. We're not doctors.
Cool. Well, that kind of leads into some of the questions. And the first question here, let me pull it up here. I've printed them out here. Same.
Well, I got to put my glasses on.
Well, that's pretty big. You might be able to read it.
This one comes from Deborah. It says, "Hey guys, have been following you at least a year, and I must say I do get a lot out of your videos. I know I saw a scale on your site, and I'm wondering how to find that again, and do you still think it's a good product for you? Thanks for your good advice and updates on the future of GLP-1s and Medicare." Well, thanks, Deborah, for your question. The scale that we use is a Renpho.
Renpho.
Renpho scale. So it Bluetooths our weight and all the information to an app on our phone, which is very handy to be able to look at. And if you go to our website at thedownsized.org and click on the store tab, I've got lots of products in there that we've used, and our scale is among those products.
I think it's 3 or 4 lines down there. You can see it.
I change them around sometimes. But you can also, there's also a travel scale. We also take a smaller version of the scale with us when we travel, just to kind of keep us accountable and keep us on track, which is kind of crazy that we do that. I never would have done that previously, but now I just feel like, we don't go on or off, right? So we're always on this journey, so it just keeps us accountable. But yeah, we really do like that scale. We use it every day. I weigh myself every day. I think, Christopher, you do also.
I do as well, absolutely.
And it shows other metrics besides weight, like your body fat percent, your muscle mass, your water, percent body water, things like that. So there's other metrics to look at besides just weight.
So that's it. Link to our Amazon store. You can buy it directly from Amazon. We are an Amazon affiliate, so we get a small percentage as well. So.
Off each purchase, yes, That's a good point. We are Amazon affiliates.
All right, what you got next?
Okay, the next one comes from Pat. Pat says, greetings. I have been watching your YouTube videos for a few months now as I journey along on Manjaro. My journey began September 2024. As of today, I have lost 70 pounds. I still have 17...
Yay, Pat.
Yay, Pat.
Hey, I'll put some confetti up.
Okay.
Yay, Pat.
I still have 17 to go to meet my goal. As I watch, I begin to realize that although you, Laraine, have met your weight loss goal, there was something missing. Initially, you were climbing the weight loss mountain with not much attention to what's next once you reached the goal. Enough time has passed now that many have reached their goal, and there is little discussion of what next. How to maintain this weight loss? What good, bad, quirky things do I deal with now that I'm thinner? I would love to see you devote some time regularly to the world of having achieved the weight loss. After all, isn't this really what it's all about? I've had to replace all my clothing twice. Now I need... prints on the back. Now I need to have my rings resized. Even my shoes are a bit sloshy. Christopher had that too. Yep. My glasses are too wide for my head now. Also a problem for him. This is our new normal. I think you have an opportunity in your videos to add the now what slice of this whole journey, as you have the mountain climbing of losing the weight. I know what you mean. After all, don't we want the weight loss period of all this to become a distant memory and move to our new normal? I continue to watch the two of you as you inform and entertain me. Thanks for your dedication. Sincerely, Pat. Well, thanks, Pat, for that email. There's so many things to unpack in this. First of all, congratulations on your 70-pound loss.
Jazz hands.
I was going toward my weight loss goal without really thinking about what would come next, because I had never made my weight loss goal before.
It didn't seem achievable.
It didn't seem real. It didn't seem achievable. I thought, even as I lost weight along the way with tirzepatide, I always thought at any minute it was just going to be all over. It was going to be a big hoax. I was going to gain all the weight back, and it wasn't real. And even at some points now, I kind of question, is this going to stick? Is this going to be what my life is now? I don't, now even a year after maintenance, a year of being on maintenance, I still kind of have to adjust that I've actually met my goal. And that's going to just take some time. I don't really think of myself as not in a weight loss mode, because I've been in a weight loss mode or trying to be in a weight loss mode for most of my life. So it's weird. And I don't really feel like I'm doing that many things different than when I was losing weight. So I eat a little bit more. I still work out. I still drink water. I still focus on protein. I don't track my calories because I just don't want to. I don't want to live like that. I want to just, weigh myself every day and let the scale guide me if I'm eating too much or not. I guess I have climbed the mountain, and I've gotten to the weight loss goal, and now I've maintained that for a year. I just feel like this is always going to be something that I have to focus on, that I'm going to have to think about, and that I feel like if I lose focus on it for even a minute, it could all go away. And I'm very, I don't want that to happen. So,
Well, so at what point, in her question, so the
Yeah.
what now,
right.
at what point does a new goal emerge?
I could say I want to build muscle. I want to be stronger. I don't really know how to, we have our scale that kind of measures that. We've talked about doing DEXA scans, and we've not done one up to this point. So, maybe we need to go ahead and finally schedule that, maybe after the cruise.
Not this week.
And, get some kind of starting point for that so I can, figure out muscle building and that kind of thing. She says, what good, bad, quirky things do I deal with now that I'm thinner? I don't know. Clothes fit better. I can go into any store. My rings are, like she said, my rings are looser.
Yeah,
my shoes
all
are bigger.
the sizing things are. I just to have a whole bag of shoes for Goodwill right now because my feet are so much smaller. I step out of the shoes. I can't tie them tight enough for them to even work.
Yeah.
My rings, this is my wedding ring, and I had gotten to a point where I could no longer wear it.
Yeah.
It was cutting my finger essentially.
But before he started
before I started the medication, so you see it. Honestly,
Now it
it's a little loose. When we go snorkeling on the cruise, I probably will take it off. Because in the cold water, your hands shrink a little bit more, and I'm afraid I'll lose it. The clothes. For me, the clothes have been a constant. So because I've lost 100 and some odd pounds, I've had a couple of rounds of purging. Because honestly, I also had clothes that were 20 years old or 30 years old.
Yeah.
I had clothes from college still that just needed to go anyway.
Not many, but yeah, you did.
We've been through that. Now, what's surprising to me for clothes, because basically I was to a point where I was wearing a 2XL or a 42 pant, and now I'm in a medium or a 32 pant, a medium top shirt or a 32 pant. 2XL and a 42, most stores, if they have it, and they probably are not going to have it, have one option, maybe two, whereas at a medium, everything in there fits me. But I walk in all the time. We were in Old Navy the other day, and they had no mediums.
Isn't that always the case? Like when I was 14, I could never find the 14. When I'm a 4, I can never find the 4. Like, why is that? It's like a Murphy's Law of clothing shopping for some reason.
But it's still, men's pants are measured by what is theoretically a measurement. It's not some random size. It says 32. You should be able to measure it as 32. No, they're still not. I put on a pair of 32s the other day that must have been like 30s or something because I couldn't. I'm like, did I gain this much weight? What is happening here? I don't understand. And
well, it just goes to show the clothing sizes can be inconsistent at best, right? So, I keep trying on things thinking I'm really still a 12, right? Like these clothes must be just now made bigger. That must be the reason why I'm able to fit in small. No, it's going to take my brain a long time to catch up with the fact that I'm 50 pounds smaller.
I honestly still don't recognize myself on occasion. We'll walk.
I don't recognize you on occasion.
Particularly if you're in stores where there's big mirrors and things, I'll walk past and could be like,
who's that skinny man?
Then I'm like, oh, wait a minute.
That's me.
Yeah, it's I don't know. It's weird. It is.
Yeah.
And then all of the things you would expect. It's flying is easier. You name it. It's your body just fits a little better.
Everything's easier. And Pat says, after all, don't we want the weight loss period of this to become a distant memory and move to our new normal? Yes and no, I guess I would say to that. I'm 56 years old. I've been trying to lose weight for basically 50 years. So I don't know that I'm ever going to think of it as a distant memory. I still have a lot of diet
PTSD.
diet PTSD, diet trauma, diet mentality trauma that, I'm trying to work through and get past. And that's, it's probably just, I don't know that ever goes away. So, but yeah, I think we have found maybe a new normal. We eat better, we eat more protein, we eat more consciously about what we're consuming. So,
but it's a learning, because we want our bodies to be this constant thing that I can say, well, if I just eat this thing, it's always going to impact me this way, or drink this thing, it's always going to impact me this way. And it's not, because we're not constant. Everything comes in and out. You sweat, you grow, you do all the things, so that even on a daily basis, it's, well, what do I need to eat today to make sure I feel good, to make sure I'm healthy, to all those things. And I don't know, we've figured it out perfectly for sure.
We have, or we
No,
haven't?
we haven't.
Oh, we have not. No, we have not. Well, and it makes me think of, people say all the time that the tricks they use to lose weight in their 20s and 30s, now those things don't work so well in their 40s, 50s, and beyond. So I think especially for women, our bodies are always going through some changes, right? Especially, before age menopause, whenever that is, 50s, 60s. So things are going to be different. I think these medications just kind of help even a lot of things out, especially
well, to
for
me,
women.
the difference is there's no such thing as a trick.
Oh, sure there is.
No,
I
I
have
don't
a
think
million
there
diet
is.
tricks.
And they didn't work.
No, that's it. They could work for short term. Like I could cut out, not eat a single carb, and I could lose, 5 or 10 pounds in a week. I used to do the cabbage soup diet where all you ate was cabbage soup, and I could lose 10 pounds in a week. Well, no, it would come right back on. But, people think of those kinds of tricks for quick weight loss when maybe you have an event or a class reunion or something. And that's, we don't do that anymore, because those things just don't work, and they never
Or they're
worked.
not healthy.
They're not healthy, right? So now we really are trying to focus on nutrition and make the best choices that are going to make us feel our best.
Well, honestly, maintenance eating is almost harder to me, because I know, based off the last year and a half, if we eat this amount of protein and some vegetables and keep in a calorie deficit, and I can kind of calculate it in my head even if we don't write it down, but I know that is what's going to work. So keeping the right amount of calories and nutrition and protein and all of that for maintenance, I don't know, it's just a little bit harder to me. It's what are you adding back in and what are you eating? Because if not, you're going to keep losing weight, and we don't need to do that.
Right. So, and we have added things back in. Like we went to breakfast this morning. I had eggs, some sausage, and some pancakes, because I love pancakes. And it came with this big stack of 3 pancakes, and I ate 1.5 of them, and I was like, I'm done. And I had it comes with the little cup of syrup, right? And I just kind of dipped my pancakes in the syrup. I didn't dump it. I just didn't want, it would have
But do you remember the last time you had pancakes?
I don't remember the last time I had pancakes. I really don't. So it's just every once in a while I can have those foods that I really like. I'm not going to have pancakes on a daily basis. I've got not a million, but I've tried several different high protein pancake mixes, and I've never found one that really tastes good or was
really. It didn't taste like a cardboard box?
It's just, sometimes you just want the real thing, right? You don't want a substitution. You don't want to try to make it a better version. You just want the real thing. So that's what I had today. And then I felt like I didn't need to eat all that. I felt like I was hungry. I wanted a lot of food. I got a lot of food. And then I was like, oh, I can't, I can't eat all this. And that's a good reminder too, that, my portions have adjusted, right? I can't, and I don't eat the amounts that I could eat pre-GLP-1s, and that's a good thing, because I didn't need all that. So sometimes I still want to go towards that, but then I'm reminded that I can't eat all that, and I don't want to eat all that. Does that make sense?
It does. Anyway, so yeah, we're still figuring it out in the maintenance period. I don't know that ever stops.
Yeah. Oh, and I think people, you know, they've watched a lot of our videos or they come to our channel and, you know, we're not like other like health and fitness people, because we're not all about like, I only eat 20 grams of carbs a day. And we're not like that. This is just our real life. And I'm not going to sit up here and say, I'm never going to eat a pancake again, because I love pancakes and I don't want to live in a world without pancakes. So, you know,
I can live without a pancake.
he doesn't like pancakes. You like French toast.
I like pancakes, but I like French toast better.
You're a big French toast fan. So is our daughter Olivia, who's sitting over here. Olivia, you don't want to say hi? She's coming on the cruise with us, so all you cruisers will get to meet her. So do we have another question?
I think there's one more.
Kathy says, all right.
All right, so the final one was in response to the video that I did, I think last week, about the Treat and Reduce Obesity Act that's in the Senate right now. Kathy FB3HZ says, what is a Medicare patient to do? Seems so unfair that we are not allowed to the same health care with weight loss meds as others. You know what, Kathy? It does. It is extremely unfair. What I would tell you is go back to that post, to that video.
What's it called? Do you remember the name?
I don't remember, but
it's only a few back.
Yeah, it's only a few back. But so she commented on it. Go to the description, and in the description there is a link to find your senator, or all the senators if you'd like. And there is also a sample letter that you can send, and the template that says you fill in your name and you can write whatever about your story you want and send it to your senator and say, please support this. Because what that act does is it redefines weight loss medication as something that Medicare patients can have and as treating the disease of obesity. So this would change everything for Medicare patients for sure. If you're not on Medicare and you're asking, well, why do I care? Well, what happens is Medicare is typically the leading edge. So as Medicare goes, so does a lot of other insurance policies. It'd be good for everybody. So it's not right now. We talk about it all the time, but we can make a difference. So go send your senator a note and say, hey, support this.
Yeah, and what can she do, like, in the meantime?
In the meantime, well, there's a couple of options. You can go the compounded route for as long as that is around, and there's a lot of compounding telehealth pharmacies out there. We talk about them all the time. You can work with your local doctor and get tirzepatide, Zepbound, Mounjaro, Wegovy, Ozempic, whatever's appropriate for you. And there are some discounting programs out there, or really the Ozempic, Wegovy you can't do because you're also not eligible for the discount card, so you'd have to pay full price for those. But the Zepbound through Lilly Direct is a true cash price, so you could get that for the lesser price. It's $4.99, I think, $3.49 and $4.99. Not a great deal still, but it's a little bit better than the $1,100.
Well, I mean, and I do compounded, and I think that's right now the cheapest option. So
as long as it's still around.
As long as it's still around, and today, as of June 15th, 2025, I can still get it. If you have questions that you'd like for us to answer on our weekly weigh-in, you can send them directly to me, Laraine at thedownsized.org, Laraine at thedownsized.org, or you can leave them in this post with like some cues in front of it, so we'll be sure to spot those, and maybe we'll answer your question on an upcoming episode.
All right. And then it is Father's Day, so I wanted to talk about my father for just a minute.
Okay.
Just a minute.
Charlie Durham.
Charlie Durham. So here's Dad. Here's Dad, and actually my twin brother, David. So David, if you're watching, hello out there.
And you can see they don't look like twins.
Yeah, we do not look like twins, and we're not small people in this picture. So my dad died a few years ago of what was essentially complications due to obesity. So he had been a big guy most of my life. He wasn't out of high school. If you see him, he was a skinny guy in an Air Force uniform. And then I think basically like me in my 30s, picked up a lot of weight, had kids, did all of that, and then was big the rest of his life. And the obesity caused so many complications with him. He had sleep apnea, he had type 2 diabetes,
He had gout.
he had gout, and I'm not sure that caused that, but
I don't
he had breathing issues. He really,
slept with a CPAP.
well, even during the daytime, he was getting like, at one point he was getting like 30% enough oxygen. He just had all these issues to a point where eventually he died. But what happened was he was doing some work in his house because the dismal woman he lived with wanted something done. And he was on a step stool and fell off the step stool. So don't climb step stools and ladders, people, please. And due to his weight and his poor health, he broke his back and he never recovered.
Yeah.
You know, a thinner, healthier man probably would have walked away. So it's just this tragic result of obesity. And honestly, I don't know. If these medications had been around early enough that he could have helped treat a lot of that, he might still be with us today.
Yeah.
So my dad,
For sure. He was a great guy.
Yeah.
He was definitely a great guy. He and your mom had you two boys, the twin boys, and then they adopted 6 other
yep.
kids, and they took in foster kids on top of that, and there was always just room for more. So they were great.
It was
Great
funny because,
people.
people thought, oh, well, your mom must really love kids, and because they had lots of kids and lots of pets and all that. You know what? My mom did. My dad was the big softy. My dad would dress up like Santa Claus every year. He would,
Well, even with our kids, he loved to sit with
Yep.
them and just rock them for as long as.
yeah, take us
As
all.
he could.
He took us to Disney World. Gosh, I don't know, 13 times. When he was, my parents didn't have money. My mom was a bank teller and my dad installed banking equipment. So they were just working people.
Mm-hmm.
But they would load us all up in the car. At that time it was a station wagon or a van or whatever. And every summer we'd drive. And in those days you didn't even have to have a seatbelt. You just sat on a blanket in the
bounced
back of the
around in
van
the
and
back.
bounced around. I don't know.
Yeah.
The world has changed so much. These medications could have changed both my parents' lives. They could still be here. So, anyway, Happy Father's Day to everyone out there.
Happy Father's Day to all the fathers out there. Happy Father's Day to you.
Thank you.
I guess that's our show for today.
That is the show for today.
We hope you will like and subscribe to our channel. Well, hopefully by the time you watch this, we'll be right at 20,000 subscribers. We hope you'll join us. We have over 500 videos about GLP-1 weight loss, news and information on weight loss, tips, interviews with other people who have been on this GLP-1 journey.
So if you're thinking they should make a video about Search It, we might have already made it.
Oh. If you'd like to be on our series, The Downsized Dish, and do an interview with me or Christopher, send me an email to Laraine@thedownsized.org. I'll send you a link to our calendar and we'll get you all set up.
Very good. So that's it for us this week. My name is Christopher Durham.
I'm Laraine Durham.
We are The Downsized. See you next time.